Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is that you are. It's that time again. It's time for my monthly solar stats update, this time for November 2020. Okay, so I hope you're all doing well. It's the last solar stats update before Christmas. Obviously the one just before the end of the year. You can do calendaring, you know how this works. So if you've not checked into the channel before, I'll just remind you of kind of what my setup is and a little bit of back history. So I have a 9 kilowatt solar array connected to a 6 kilowatt SolarEdge inverter. Connected to that, I have a Tesla Powerwall 2 with the Gateway 1, so no backup, no isolation capability. And I also have the MyEnergi Zappy for charging electric car, and also have a MyEnergi Eddy for heating the hot water. And obviously ideally with the Zappy and the Eddy, you want to do that with surplus solar, which is obviously not that great right now. And in terms of electric vehicles right now, I'd sold my Tesla Model S a few months ago, and we currently just have my wife's Nissan Leaf 40 kilowatt. So if you're just checking in again for the first time, this is going to be a shortish video because I haven't had solar for a while due to some roofing issues, which I won't go into now. Thanks to those of you subscribers that hang out in the Discord channel. It's been great to kind of have your moral support and stuff as we've gone through some of the challenges and frustrations of that repair. But the good news is the solar panels are back on. They've been on for a couple of days in November, so I have a little bit of information to share with you, which we will kind of do now and bring this video to a close. But hopefully, all being well, come December it'll be a full normal month and be able to tell you kind of how things are performing. So just gonna pop onto the computer, share the screen with you, and go through the stats for November 2020. Okay, so here we are looking at the SolarEdge app as we usually do. So the solar panels and the inverter didn't get turned back on until really late in the day on the 23rd of November. So that's kind of where these stats start from. And I apologize on behalf of everyone in the UK. As soon as those panels went back on, the weather went absolutely crap, cloudy, misty, foggy, and absolutely terrible. So information we have in the SolarEdge app, which again isn't the whole month, so not really that helpful, but we're going to do it anyway. The system produced 21 kilowatt hours for the few days that it was working in November. Self-consumed 98% of it, exported a little bit, you know, is what it is. Obviously the Powerwall 2 that I have is still kind of doing its off-peak thing and fully charging off the grid. And obviously still charging the cars and heating the water and everything. So again, in those few days, we did consume 220.38 kilowatt hours, and obviously 91% of that came from the grid, which isn't a surprise. So I'm just going to jump into the day by day, as we usually do on the monthly update, starting on the 24th. Amazing production. Not a lot going on, obviously, because the solar panels went on and it was already getting dark. So we just have grid pull for the rest of that day. So again, not so much to talk about. Go on to the 25th. You can see first thing in the morning, we have Powerwall charging, and we also have the MyEnergi Eddy heating our hot water. Then from 4:30 we're back on, we're just running from the Powerwall. We got a little bit of solar generation that kind of helped out a little bit, but then we're pulling from the grid again by the evening. System produced an amazing 4.32 kilowatt hours. We imported a lot because that's just how it is in the winter. But one thing I didn't mention that I mention every month, because I do think it's good, is I'm obviously with Octopus Energy on the Octopus Go tariff, so I'm only paying 5 pence per kilowatt in between 12:30 in the morning and 4:30. So I'm doing all this charging and filling the cars up, but it's only costing me 5 pence a kilowatt. So It's fantastic. If you're not with Octopus Energy already and you're considering joining, please use the link in the description. You'll get £50 credit to your account, as will I. And hopefully we all benefit because we get better customer service. Hopefully we get cheaper energy tariffs, and it's green. So it's good for everybody. So that's where we are on the 25th. Go through to the 26th. Again, slightly better day, but not too much to write home about. We've got power wall charging going on. We've got a little bit of car charging going on. We've got hot water heating happening, which is kind of taking up that time again during the off-peak period. We have got some solar generation. It's 7.34 kilowatt hours, so not fantastic. But again, it's great to be generating again. Go through onto the 27th. Again, usual situation happening. Power walls charging. One thing that I don't see very often, but I did notice a couple of days here, you can see it's peaking over 5, which is interesting. Normally I only see like a constant fill of 4 kilowatts. So it's interesting to see it's doing some maintenance cycle or something at the same time there. And then again, poor day. All of November's poor for solar generation, only 4.37 kilowatt hours, and we've imported 24.1 kilowatt hours from the grid. But we don't do a bad job though. We didn't use too much during the day, so it wasn't till the end of the day that we start to have a little blip where the power wall and stuff can't kind of meet our needs. But then, we're good till the morning. 28th, same again. Power wall charging, probably a little bit of car charging going on here as well for a short period, and obviously heating the hot water. Terrible solar generation, only 1.16 kilowatt hours, but again, consumption wasn't mega during the day, so we were good until the evening, until we started to really pull from the grid. Then if we hit the 29th, again, car charging, hot water, and the power wall obviously charging as well. Because we're only down to 1 car and kids are back at school and everything, even though it's down lockdown, we've still got to travel. I've been travelling around a lot to try and sort out some of the things with the house, hence having to charge a car more often. And again, another poor day in terms of system solar production, only 2.47 kilowatt hours, but quite a hefty pull of 49.96 kilowatt hours from the grid. But again, only 5 pence, so 5 pence per kilowatt hour, but not the end of the world. We go through to the 30th, and again, usual stuff happening in the morning. Not great solar generation, and we're pulling for nearly all the day really from the grid, but not significantly. So only 36.49 kilowatt hours pulled from the grid in total. And that's it. That brings us to the end of the solar stats for November 2020. Okay, so there was obviously no solar surplus to heat hot water or charge the car from the eddy. It was all done from the grid, but as usual, I have got some stats that I will share with you in relation to that I'll pop up on the screen as we go through it. So in terms of car charging, it was 165.8 kilowatt hours of electricity we put into the Nissan Leaf during November. Again, as I said, off-peak in those charging times, so none of it from solar because we didn't have it. And then when we did, there was definitely nothing to spare. In terms of hot water, again, no green energy, but we did pull 162.4 kilowatt hours of electricity from the grid into heating hot water during the off-peak. A few people have asked me in other videos, Dale, why do you heat your hot water from electricity? Because it's cheaper. Gas is cheaper than even the off-peak electricity, which is true. And I think I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I'll just mention it again now. I don't have science behind this. This is just my thought process that, yes, gas is cheaper, but for my boiler to be running, it's also using electricity. And it's using electricity to obviously pump the water around the heating system to heat the water in the water tank. And obviously there's quite a bit of travel between where the boiler is, where obviously the water heating is happening, and the tank where the water is. And so I figure that's slightly less efficient way of heating the hot water Whereas if I just heat with electricity, the heating element is there in the water tank. So yes, it costs a little bit more money per kilowatt hour, but I think it's more efficient. So I don't think I am consuming as much electricity as I would consume gas and electricity to do it via the boiler. Again, I've never really sat down and worked this out. This is a gut feeling. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But I decided this a year or so ago, and that's just kind of how I've been doing things. So welcome comments below if you have a theory or are doing your own maths on that. And then the total pull from the grid over the whole month is 1,105.3 kilowatt hours. And again, unfortunately not most of the, well, a large significant amount of that was obviously off peak, but there was some peak pull altogether. If we look at the Powerwall, so we managed to get 374 kilowatt hours of electricity out of the Powerwall, which obviously is off peak. Charged energy it was using during peak time, so that all helps out. So hopefully from next month we're back on with the normal process of giving proper solar updates on how the performance has been here in the UK. Not having solar for 2 months and 2 days, I didn't realise just how much I missed it. If for nothing else, the fact that any generation you feel it's great because you're generating stuff, and also it's helping, you know, with the payback. So right now I'm 2 months, 2 days down on the payback, right? Because I've had to buy electricity, missing out on fit payments and that kind of thing. So fingers crossed, issues are behind us. There's lots of issues that came out of some of this stuff, which I don't think I'm going to in any videos right now. So I just want to kind of get on with it and put it behind me. If you want to chat, you want to join in the community that happens kind of behind the scenes, please sign up to our Discord channel. It's completely free. There's quite a few of us that idle and chat and talk about all sorts of stuff in there, and there's a link for that in the description as well. If I don't see you before on another video, take care of yourself. Hope you're all well. It's great we've got a vaccine coming sometime next year. Some of us will get it, some of us won't, but it's going to be good for everybody. And I hope you have a great Christmas, and I'll probably do a Christmas video. So I'll say hello again on Christmas Day, but bye for now. Thanks for watching this video. A thumbs up would be really appreciated. If you're interested in other geek type videos, please consider subscribing to Spectrum Geeks. Why not also follow us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. And before you leave, why don't you check out one of these other videos that may be of interest. Thanks again for watching.